Yo, what's up, Zox fam? We are back with some more Etheria Restart. So this is a very, very pivotal point, and I want to kind of talk about this like gap right here in your progression going into day two. Day two is actually pretty important as well at this point because you should have, if you have not, make sure you check it, have gotten the consumable for the Apex selection card, which is going to give you the choices here. As you can see, Messiah, Mio, Doki Doki, Heinrich, Lily, Shadow Sonya, and Lilium to basically pick from, which are some of the strongest units in the game from the LDs. Now, the thing is that how you're going to go about using this is going to be subjective to how you started, right? If you went and re-rolled for an optimal start, I would suggest to actually hold off on this. Like me personally, I got Lily in my very, very first SSR proc. I'm not using this yet, right? It doesn't make sense for me to, nor can I build all of this stuff. So just kind of keeping that for food for thought. But if you haven't gotten anything that's going to really help you with pushing your progression, it might be worthwhile to use this early. I would definitely say some of those early suggestions would obviously be ones like, Shadow Sonya. Lily, of course, is still just the number one choice here. And then, of course, like later down the line, if you are holding on to this, Lilium is really strong. If you haven't gotten Lily, obviously you get Lily, right? Doki Doki is still really good, right? These are really, really strong units, but I think that you have to be mindful of the fact that you are still going to be pulling on the permanent summon banner, and the permanent summon banner is going to be, and that's where the catch-22 comes in, or the double-edged sword, is that you basically still have the opportunity of pulling them from there. So like I said, if you started off re-rolling, make sure that you give yourself the optimal chance of narrowing down your options so that you can make the best decision you possibly can for your account, right? So that's how I'm going to be using it. So we're going to actually leave this alone for right now. Now, really quick, I want to actually overview our progression. We're currently level 18. This is like one of the very first pits that you have. You have one a little bit earlier. You have many ones, I would say, but this is probably the first like bigger one that you have. And here, what you're basically doing, if we go over to the Hyperlink Charter, right now I'm having to work towards defeating Hard Terramatan 3. We have the Animus Fate, which is also locked behind Hard Terramatan 3. The module modifications, we just have to get more epics, which will be much easier when we're clearing, the higher like floors of hard. And then for shells, we have to do hard Kuru. So let me actually show you guys the layouts of my current teams right now, because this will probably help you guys a little bit in understanding like what you could do or bring. So we go over to hard 2, which we currently have on 3-star right now. I'll show you guys what my team is looking like. The team is actually pretty solid, and I actually do the runs, right? So you guys can kind of see what they're looking like. I usually will target the mid body. Early game advice: if you are struggling with Terramatan, target the arm on the left. That is something that could actually make this fight much, much easier. But as you can see here, we got pushback, we have push forward coming from the Lily here. So that's like basically what we're taking advantage of here. We have our heals just to kind of keep our team sustained with Dorothy. And I'll show you guys the gear too after I show you the dungeon runs. But easy enough at this point. It's not really, really crazy. You just have to farm like purple pieces at this point. I know there's some people that's gonna be like, oh, you don't gotta farm that because you're not gonna be keeping them for long. No, you still gotta farm them. You're just not gonna level them as high, right? So I'll show you guys what that gear should look like. But again, having the Lily, prime example here, like for those that actually decide to get her today, she's also a unit that you can slot in, and she's gonna be a pretty excellent unit for helping you with progression. Again, like I said, Shadow Sonya is also a really good one for these dungeons like Terramatan too. So boom, that's GG. 104. Usually though, it's less than a minute, but it all depends on whether or not Gray got his defense break up. But that's what my Terramatan run looks like right now. And gear also is shared across the board. I did build an extra unit for my Doki Doki, so we can do hard 1 right now. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. And again, the whole purpose is not to perfect clear, is to get the clear, right? So as you can see here, I'm actually using attribute disadvantage. So Leon, Kachi should not be in here, but because we're really pinched for resources in this earlier portion of the game, you have to make do with what you have. So what I did is I actually built up Kaz a little bit. She's still 3-star, only level 35. Put her on an Unbridled Science. I'll show you her gear too when we get there. And then we're just running double CC with Gray, Lily, and then Leon. And then let me actually do this because I forgot I changed my preset. So we're going to replace it. So every time you change gear and it's better or it suits this, just, swap it. Make sure it's like all set in stone. So as you can see here, the main goal with this is just to make sure that we remove the damage reduction, because we want to be able to do as much damage as we can to get through the wave, right? And you'll notice an astronomical difference in how much damage you can deal when the enemies don't have those damage reductions on them. And again, for those of you guys that are early to the game, the only way you can remove those damage reduction buffs is by actually CCing the opponent. So that's kind of like your goal. Now, going into the second wave, all I'm trying to do is just really stall for time. Again, Leon is like pretty strong here still. So even with her being attribute disadvantage, she still has nuking potential. Kaz is going to be and I'm talking about Kazuyo here. She's going to be a mainstay on this team because even as we swap in things for the right attributes and just like long-term like in-game slotting, Kaz is a in-game mainstay for this, right? But you can kind of get the general gist of how the team looks. We still take hits, still can get hit like pretty hard. But the main thing is that technically you have 2 DPSs on your team, like at all times, which is technically Gray. So Gray is also able to do damage. So don't sleep on Gray and building like right there, right? Don't sleep on him. So Leon is just kind of more sub DPS in comparison to Gray, because Gray technically can hit harder here because he has attribute advantage, right? So yeah, that's basically that, right? And it's just going for the clear. We're getting some of those starting to go up to the epic pieces now. And that's really how you do it, right? Now, outside of that, okay, shell dungeons, I'll show you guys that real quick. And then we're going to actually do some summons today too. For my Pate, what I did for this, I actually used Kaz on this as well. Kaz is actually, and I'll show you guys this for hard. Kaz is really just here for the first like wave, right? You could go Kachi here. It really all depends on what you want to do or what you got built. But I use her here just because she has a higher chance of getting the stun. And also, her slumber can be utilized for damage amp. So that's why I personally like using it. But the reason why I'm showing you guys all my runs here is because this is just kind of emphasizing how much I've actually built. The notion that you have to be stretching all your resources into like all these different units to get all the perfect slotting in the beginning is not necessarily the case. You really just want to make sure that you have, those dungeons, like really it's just the gear more than anything. And then you start to kind of tune your speed a little bit. Tuning your speed does help out like tremendously. And it's going to significantly change your success rate in terms of how you win at this point, right? And it's not crazy like, oh, I got to roll like speed values. It's more so about building up your shell, certain things like that, right? So even with the Petrify on Leon, it doesn't matter. As long as Gray is up, he's still going to be doing crazy damage. So, again, paying attention to attribute advantage to disadvantage does make a big difference. And that right there is a clear. So GG, right? 1:06. Sometimes it clears under a minute, which is why I have the 3-star. So yeah, that's a Pate hard. And then lastly, we are able to do Kururu. I'm going to probably cover that when we actually are able to clear hard. But the general idea, defense break, nuke with Leon. Leon is going to be goated here. She's really, really strong, attribute advantage. So just kind of take that into consideration. Obviously, you can still run. Like I'll show you my lineup real quick. You're still going to run the Lily, right? Because Lily's just going to help you rotate your Leon. And then you can go Kachi here. Very, very simple. That's literally the team. You get rid of the little jellyfish in the beginning, then you DPS Kururu, right? Now, at this point, this is a little bit too hard. So we're not dealing enough damage just yet. Which the thing is that it's not that you just suck, right? You just need to now kind of start fine-tuning your gear a little bit more, which is why we go back and we start farming, right? So it's just the name of the game. It literally tells you where you're at. You always try things to see how your team performs, and then you go back and tweak it, right? So outside of that, I want to show you guys my gear real quick. Now, as far as Leon, currently modules, we have her on level 9 pieces on these unique pieces. We got a couple, one epic piece on her, attack, crit damage, crit rate. Very, very straightforward. The shell, we have our Agent Lizard. It's not completely maxed out, but I think it is. I think this is maxed. Oh, no, it's not maxed out yet. So, yeah, not maxed out yet. Nothing really crazy. It's just leveling the shell. Then on the Prowess, the only thing that I focus so far is the attack nodes here. And then obviously we have leveled into the skill 3. She's the only unit that you should have any lattices into right now. There's no reason to have lattice into anybody else just yet. So just kind of take that for what it is. Lily, again, what we have going on for her, we have her on speed gear. Again, guys, you are going to need to farm those previous stages, right? So granted, I'm showing you the highest stage I can do. Farm the stage, like wherever you get stuck at, farm the stage before that, right? And do like 20 runs there, move on, right? And it's really not about having the best pieces. It's just about trying to get these set bonuses if you can. With, like, for example, if you're building Lily does not really care about any of these values. She just needs speed. So we have her on the Swift Rush 13, which, I mean, 12, is really all you need. Unbridled Science is really huge as well. We have it on the 3 Matrix bonus, which is what you optimally want, maxed out. So very, very straightforward there. Kachi, we have him on kind of a broken build right now because we're still trying to get some of those pieces, and that's actually something I need to do real quick. Hold on, we're gonna be efficient here. We're gonna put this in the background and let this run because I got to do hard 1 anyway. So we're just gonna let that farm, right? So I gotta preach what I teach, right? So this is what you usually do, right? So while you're doing other stuff, just let this stuff farm in the back, right? We can go back to our characters here. Yeah, so Kachi, main thing is trying to get some effect accuracy pieces, even if they're lower rarity ones. Just don't level them really high. Like those blue pieces, don't take them past 6. Like most of my unique pieces, I'm taking a 9. My epic pieces, I'm at 9 right now. If I find a really good one, then I might take it to 12. But it all depends on where I'm at, right? Like, so it's a way for you to be able to conserve, silver or Etheria coin. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, Gray, kind of just getting there, right? We got him on a slightly broken build right now. We could level this piece up just so we can get more of the Matrix bonus, right? So we'll take this one to 9, and then we'll replace. So then that should actually put him at 10 instead of 9 on the onslaught. So he's like 2 away from getting the full onslaught spam, which is pretty cool. So crit rate, crit damage, attack, very, very straightforward. Ultimately, though, we will like to probably have him closer to that 100% crit because that does affect his interval of defense breaking. As far as prowess on him as well, we just have done the attack side. We haven't put any lattice into him just yet, nor do you need to, right? Agent Lizard is completely maxed out. And then the last unit we actually have resources into outside of our healer is actually Kaz. Kaz actually has same speed build. We have her on effect accuracy, effect accuracy, effect accuracy, as much as you can realistically get at this point. And then Shell, Unbridled Science, right? So Unbridled Science, you are going to have to level these shells. I know there's some people getting told, don't level those shells. You're not going to keep them long. No, you need to. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people made was they got rid of or they did not really invest in these shells. So it just made it harder for them to progress. You need to build up some of these early game shells so that you can do and be prepared to shift into and evolve into or graduate into your mid game, right? Very, 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 very important. Now for Dorothy, to kind of explain this a little bit, if you want Dorothy to perform better or heal more, a couple of different things, right? So we're still running her like on a whatever shell. We're gonna actually change this right now. What you want to do is obviously give her Teacher Owl, give her Onslaught, right? You could go, and I mean, there's multiple different ways you could do it, right? You could go for the Wellspring to build into the bulk, but if you build Onslaught, or if you build Wellspring, I should say, you need to make sure that the pieces have not HP bonus. I was doing this early just so she wouldn't die. She really needs to have attack bonus, right? Now, the reason why that is because that's what she scales off of. I just unfortunately haven't really gotten many attack bonus pieces. So that's why it's a little bit more difficult for me to be able to like alternate into it, but it's what scales her healing, right? So you want to make sure that you're actually shifting her into attack bonus. This is kind of why a lot of people don't like using her even in early game, because she's an attack bonus or attack scaler in terms of her heal, which makes her not that bulky. Again, you can try to go for sets that are bulky with the values that are a little bit more emphasizing, the scaling of her heals. But to be honest, she ends up falling off. So we're using her for right now, which is perfectly fine early game. But at least as we get closer to mid game, we're going to try to look for some alternatives, right? So we haven't started her up. And as you can see, we have 2 5-stars, which is the Leon, Lily, 4 stars, Kachi, Gray, and then 3 stars is Dorothy, Kazuo, right? So we've made quite a bit of progression considering that those are the only things that we've actually even invested in or have built at this point, right? Now, with this, I want to also explain a couple of more things, and then we're going to summon, okay? And then that kind of will tell us what other direction we can go in. Now, Shell Story, briefly, going to explain this. Guys, this is another way for you to get more resources. I know I have had videos in the past that break these down, but I'm not going to be doing individual videos for these events. Simply put, make sure that you hold on to your wish orbs. Even if you hit the 7, do not use them right away. What you want to make sure that you do is that you rotate the board, right? And I'll try to get to as many of these as I can, realistically. Now, you have your regular dice that just kind of roll, right? Like whatever. So we hit that, and we got a wish orb, right? So let's see what we can get here. Now, if you land on any of these like little any of the shells that are on the board, they all have different games. One of the like more important ones I would say is probably the Phantom Cat here, right? You're able to basically go in there and buy stuff with crystals. If you see stamina, buy it. Okay. Here we have like the switching card game. You're gonna always, in my opinion, I would say at this point, go for portraits, right? So you want those because that's going to help you with star rarity upping your characters. So you want portraits, right? Now we have the Oracle dice. Now, why are the Oracle dice important? Because the Oracle dice will allow you to be able to land on a specific tile, right? So we're going to actually do that right now. So we're going to try to see how far this will take us. It took me all the way to, yeah, so I don't want to chance this with a random roll. So I'm going to roll a 3 here, confirm, and then now I got an extra wish orb, right? So that's kind of how you play it. And then here we go. We're now on the other side. Reset it again, got another wish orb. And so you want to try to rotate this as much as you possibly can, getting as many orbs as you can. Now, here we go, right? Perfect example. Now, somebody's going to ask, hey, Zox, should I buy the evolution lattice in here? Should I buy the mental stabilizer in here? Yes, you should. I absolutely think you should. You're going to replenish these the crystals, right? The evolution lattice is also going to help you with building up your characters, which is going to give you more progression, right? So just again, I'll do it, right? Like just to show you guys, because the other thing is too, guys, you shouldn't even be using crystals technically at this point to summon unless you're trying to pull on the LD banner, which again, that's not going to kill me because I'm also going to basically get that back from also playing these events, right? So we graceful exit, and then I'll hold off on my Oracle summons for right now. We got a ton of rotation from that, right? And then the very last event here that I just want to briefly talk about, Cubic Game, very straightforward. You basically are going to take these purple tiles or what we call boost, and you lay those on, wrong one. We'll go for the horizontal one. You lay those here, and it will basically level up the cards that are on the table. Now, when you confirm the placement, you're also going to have the opportunity to use bonus cards. Bonus cards basically are going to increase what that boost is doing, right? So you're going to run out of spaces in terms of like where you can possibly place boosts. So you want to add bonuses to them so that they can basically level up how the stars that you have on that card. Now, keep in mind, the reason why the stars going up is important is because that gives you more resources, right? So we're going to lay that down. And then like, for example, here, this is Puppet's Pardon, which affects the entire field. We're going to put it right next to the bonus, and then it actually gives us more levels. So you see how if it's further away, it only gives 1, but if I put it near the bonus, it actually gives us 2. So this is basically how this is going to go for this entire game mode. Once you finish, it will level up those cards, and then you can challenge those cards and get those resource drops, right? So you're going to get all those resources back, promise you. Okay. And that's just kind of like a light explanation of the cubic game because I don't want that to take up too much time. But there are other difficulties and you just have to kind of be aware of that. Now, real quick, just to show you where we're at in terms of investigation, we have to get to chapter 7. We're on 13 right now, which is fine. GP Outpost, we have hard 3 on everything. That's perfectly fine. You should be able to do that with the lineup I was showing you, the Leon, Kachi, and if you're using Gray or Dorothy, I mean, kind of depends, but Gray really honestly is probably going to be the unit that you use there. And then from there, Anasync Echo, you push as much of this as you can. Right now we're on hard, Ling low. We're going to just keep pushing this. I just haven't bothered doing it. This is kind of a thing you can do whenever you have time, but you want to do it, right? You never want to not do it. So absolutely make sure that you do it, all right? Now, outside of that, okay, The other thing that's really important about Innocent Echo is giving you gear. Okay, so it's going to be giving you Swift Rush, Onslaught. Like if we go over to the Valerian, you'll see here there's a core that you can get for Onslaught. You need to be pushing this, otherwise you are going to be significantly hurting your account, right? And this is where like characters like, for example, Shadow Sonya is probably one of the best characters for climbing Innocent Echo. So again, that's why there's so many different potential choices you can make. But I will say, with that being said, that's something that you'll get to at some point and really start to push that a lot more. Now, lastly, okay, on the topic of summoning, we got 70 summons. We're going to go ahead and summon. Again, not focused on any of these other banners just yet, because we still got to see what else we can get from the perma summon. We currently are in 45 summons. So we might be able to get another 2 possible SSRs. Excuse me. So we're going to see what we can get here. All right. So we got nothing there. We're going to go ahead and skip that. I'm going to make you guys watch a blue animation. All right. Free summon. Oh, nice. Okay, so we got a purple here. We'll just skip it because it's one. Oh, nice. We got Kachi the Guard. So remember, in the first video, I was telling you guys, like, units like Kachi the Guard is really, really strong. We're going to be using him based on how our gear is looking, even if it isn't, like, or even if it is, like, the best. I'm still going to build Kachi the Guard because he's really, really good for progressing throughout mid-game, too, into end-game. He's really, really strong. All right, so we used our free summon, so let's go ahead and keep on pulling here. See what we can get. All right, so we got Sybil here. Let's see what the SR is that we get. Hopefully it's like, I don't know. We'll take a Kraken. Oh yeah, and I also got to show you guys Arena too. So I'm gonna show you that before we end the video. So don't leave yet, okay? Ooh, okay. So we got Mizuki Makoto. Okay, Mizuki's actually pretty solid in PvP too. You can actually use her in some PvE stuff too. But dude, she's kind of nuts in PvP when she's built. All right, let's see. Nice, we got it early. Let's go. So yeah, we're definitely going to be able to get 2. All right, so let's see. All right, we got Akachi here. Andrew. All right, let's see what we get. All right, here we go. I think it's like the last pull. Ooh, that's busted. Yo, that's okay. So, dang. Okay, so okay, guys. So this actually is kind of ridiculous because technically you're supposed to get Ling Lo on day 7. I would definitely say that as far as healers go, Ling Lo is going to be like nasty for Doki Doki. Not so much for Terramatan. Like you can use her in early Terramatan, and I'll kind of show you guys that. But I'll talk about alternatives for her when I'm using her as well, because you got some. But yeah, Ling Lo is. I'm not mad at an early Ling Lo because we technically still got 6 days before we can even get her. So yeah, that I'm not mad at entirely, but this is also a point in case like how you can pull a unit that you're technically gonna get anyway. So this is why you kind of go perma summons, because you want to see what you can get. All right, so let's see. We got another SR coming in. Let's just see who it is. Andrew. Okay, so Ling Lo is actually really not a bad pull at this point, because now we kind of solidified a really, I mean, honestly, one of the best heals you can get this early in the game. Oh, there's the other one. There you go, right? So there's the other one, right? Yeah, Sonya. Sonya is great. She can also be used in Doki Doki. You can use her in Terra as well. She's amazing in PvP. Shadow Sonya, or sorry, regular Sonya, is probably one of the best healers in the game. So from the SRs especially. So yeah, she's absolutely insane to have. All right, let's see what we got here. So I'm hoping. I'm not trying to think who else we can possibly get, because I think we're kind of starting to flesh out some of those important roles. I was not expecting that to be Ling Lo and Sonya. That's crazy. All right, so let's see here. Ooh, Dinah's really good. Okay, so we don't have like another Amper yet. Like Plume kind of replaces Dinah, but to be fair, at a lower interval and in the beginning, Dinah is still amazing. Dinah's actually still really good though, even into end game. But yeah, that's kind of one of those things. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, Dinah's definitely really good. All right, let's see. So that's like, man, this account here, man, is actually like kind of optimal. Granted, like, we would love another SSR, LD, but I can't complain. I can't complain. Ooh, Hazuki. Okay, so Hazuki's a CC unit. Could you use her for some PvE progression? You could. Definitely would say that like she kind of becomes a lot more valuable the later you get into the game, but she can work in some earlier stuff. She's the first petrify unit in the game. And for those that don't understand the CCs, I'll explain that in a whole nother video. But all right, so let's see here. All right, and then I think we only have 2 more multis before this next pity. Pretty sure. Oh, okay. So we got another Kazumi there. We might actually build Kazumi this go around because Kazumi is actually pretty solid. And I think if I did the math correctly, oh no, we didn't. We're 40 in, so hey, it is what it is. We'll see what this last multi gives us. All right, yeah. So it didn't give us anything. Jose nada, which is okay. All right, so we dropped those pools just to kind of see what we can get. Obviously, I only really have been pulling when I do these videos. We got Kraken. That's GG. I mean, like not that I needed another SSR because, like, in reality, we're kind of popping off right now. But again, I'm not going to be using any more of my crystals. Like I said, we kind of scored our healers. I don't have to go too crazy just yet. And again, we're playing with the RNG. Everybody's going to have a different level or different type. You may get lucky in some pools, you may not. It's just kind of to each account, right? Now, the last thing I want to show you guys before I end the video is obviously Etheria. We are starting to push this a little bit. I did only like the first 3 fights that I needed to, but you want to try to push this as much as you can because look at this, right? Perfect lattice, evolution lattice. You need to get these, right? This is going to be really, really important. Micro lattice is also going to be really important as well because you still got to build up units like Kachi. Vice is going to be a unit that you have to build. I know somebody's going to ask, hey, Zox, should I be doing refills on arena tickets? You can, but it is completely optional. I would say, in my opinion, I try to at least do it for the lattice if I don't have enough. Like, the week is short for the release. So I'm going to probably do a little bit of refills with crystals, but to be honest, going into a regular week rotation, I probably wouldn't. I just will do my daily each day, and that should be enough for you to be able to get both of those before the week is up. So that's how you would kind of play. But if you're running short on time, yeah, go ahead and refill. It's not going to kill you. You're going to get the crystals back. So yeah, guys, as far as my formation right now, and I'll just show you what we're looking like right now. Just your kind of average team, right? Lily, right, is going for a cleave. It is cleave setup. Lily with a CC, 2 cleavers, right? Defense break cleave, right? So my Lily is actually pretty quick for this earlier elo. And this isn't sped tune. It's just leveled up like shell and stuff and speed gear, or the set bonus at least, right? So a little bit more tuning we got to do. Obviously, Kachi ain't tuned right. Now, we could also, like, again, it doesn't have to be Kachi that you use. You can go and, like, for example, throw Kaz in here. Because Kaz technically, if we do another one, right? Kaz technically has CC and it's damage amp, right? So if you don't want to go Kachi, go Kaz. Kaz is actually a little bit quicker, right? Boom, slumber. And then that's still a nuke, right? And so you're able to take advantage of that amp and then kind of finish off everything here with the gray. And I think just because we're rotating so fast, they can't do anything anyway, right? And there you go, right? So it's very, very simple. You just want to make sure that you're scoring the points, and really honestly, more than anything, doing the matches. Don't try to be a hero. If you see somebody that seems stronger than you, maybe wait, right? Like, don't go attack them. go for a lower one. Try to be, you know, as efficient as possible to guarantee the win so you can get as many points as you can on top of the rewards so that you can actually get the stuff in the shop. You gotta get the stuff in the shop. We do not care about trying to be the best there ever was, right? So yeah, guys, that's basically going to be that with this video. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep these videos no more than 30 minutes. But it, again, hopefully gives you some more insight and some help on some of the things that you really need to know. If you guys have any more questions, again, don't be afraid to ask in the comment section down below. And the last thing too, if you guys want to join a union, I do have a union called Zox Refresh. You are free to join. You have to get into a union. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out on some really important resources. I will be covering this in the next video so you guys have a better understanding of the union, how it works, how to tackle the content. All right. So that's going to be that, guys. Everyone, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.